an icon panel right after this. Alrighty, we are going live in the Facebook group. If you are jumping on, make sure to comment so I know you're here, right? I've got some awesome class members here in person. As you guys know, these classes are live in person at the forum, or now we call it the club, Club 2301, also where we work. So now if you hear us saying that we're at the club, our office is legitimately a club now. So it opens up in October. So make sure you Club 2301 on Facebook they've got a Facebook page where you can get more information. But we're going to go ahead and I'll share my screen and we will get jumping into this class because I know that I can be long-winded and I never go over on time. But I actually do have a meeting right after this class. So we'll go ahead and jump in. Today, I wanted to talk about hidden transactions. And I'm basically going to give you guys a framework on how you can audit your CRM, audit your lead tracking tools so that you can uncover business that you already have, right? Now more than ever, we need to be efficient. We need to increase our conversion and we need to make sure that we are squeezing out all the potential possibility that we have. And that was really the inspiration behind this class because I go into a lot of CRMs and I see so much potential. So it may not be super fun, but it can always be more fun when you guys comment and interact and ask questions. So I'll be monitoring the comments through StreamYard. So there are some resources today. I'm trying something a little bit new. I'm trying to put all the resources in the slides. So Kelsey will make sure you guys get the slides. And then they have links in them to the resources just to make things easier for you guys. So without further ado, let's jump in to the class. So the first thing that I'm going to share with you guys is we're going to do an audit. I'm going to show you how to audit your CRM. And if you don't have a CRM, you're going to have to be creative and ask a question in the comment section so that we can brainstorm how to help you audit the systems that you're using right now. We're going to talk about accountability filters. Sometimes they're called smart segments, call filters, accountability filters, call queues. Basically, I'm going to introduce you to the idea of hacking your CRM to showcase these opportunities for you. Then we're going to talk about creating a workflow. Daily, weekly, monthly. And a workflow means, and I love this because Tom Ferry had a reel on this that one of my coaching clients sent me about working off of checklists, right? So a workflow basically is a checklist that you can do on a daily, weekly, monthly cadence that will allow you to uncover opportunities like this. So that's what we're going to do. So, it's funny because I'm preparing this class and I'm like, okay, before we do the audit, we cannot neglect the fact that 68% of all sellers, according to NAR, this isn't just Christy's made up numbers. According to NAR, 68% of all sellers use their previous agent or got a referral. So I have to bring this up because it's such a critical piece. Like, before you go and try to convert a bunch of strangers, right? I did a reel earlier this week. Actually, I guess it's not out yet. I recorded a reel earlier this week talking about what's the difference between an internet lead and a referral. So I'll just ask Valerie, since she's here in class. Valerie, in your opinion, what's the difference between an internet lead and a referral?
It's a warm lead.
A warm lead, right? What would you rather have? 50 internet leads a month or maybe 2, 3, 4 referrals?
Referrals.
And how come you want referrals over internet leads?
They're easier to convert. They've already been introduced to you, so they usually like you.
Yeah, they're easier to convert. They've already, been interested to you or introduced to you. I was talking to one of my clients. Her dad's an electrician, and I actually didn't know that. I just asked her about this specific area, and I was like, "Do you know anybody?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, my dad's an electrician. He can do this for you." And I can already tell you, I'm not going to interview anybody else. Why? Because it's a referral. And, so we can't neglect the fact that you need to make sure that you have a plan in place for your database. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time on that today, but it's the place that you should start. So first of all, you need to have a plan for your past clients and your sphere of influence. And I would highly recommend that you do an audit. And I would love to know in the comments. So comment, do you have a plan for your past client and your sphere of influence? Do you guys have plans in place that what's the frequency of touches, right? So if I'm part of ABC group, right, how many times do we call our sphere of influence and our past clients a year, right? So the touches are, the frequency, how many touches, right? Is it a 60-point touch plan a year? Is it a 30-point touch plan of a year? Or is it just like, when I'm in the car and I think of that person randomly because I drove by their neighborhood, I send them a text? Hopefully not. But it might be, right? And we have to work with that. So the other thing I would audit is your channels of communication, right? And this is something that I teach a lot with my coaching clients is, the frequency is one thing. How often do we want to be reaching out to these people? But then also we have to think about the channels, right? What's a channel? Well, snail mail is a channel. Texting is a channel. Phone calls is a channel. Email is a channel. In-person, face-to-face, social media. Those are all channels of communication. So as you're auditing your plan and your execution of your plan, I would look at the channels of communication and make sure it's varied. I give the example all the time of my mom has I think she now has over 500 unread text messages. I don't even know how that's possible. And then her email just now deletes emails because she doesn't open them. And so if you were my mom's agent, your best chance of getting, through to her in a meaningful way would be to send her something in the mail because she's convinced she's going to win Publishers Clearinghouse. And so she opens every bit of mail. Well, that's a channel, right? So texting channel's not super effective with her. Calling's definitely not effective with her. She doesn't answer her phone either. And really the email, it's a black hole. Snail mail is the best way to get a hold of her. And then lastly, I would say you need to have a closing protocol. In fact, most of your auditing of your center of influence and past clients comes through your closing protocol. What are the things that you have in place every time you close a client? You put them on HomeBot, you put their home anniversary in your calendar, you add their birthdays to your calendar, you tag them in the CRM, you move them to close, right? What's the list of 10 to 15 things that you do every time a client closes on a house? That becomes your closing protocol. So before we go into auditing all these strangers, right, let's make sure that we have a solid foundation rooted in our past clients and sphere because, just a reminder, 68% of all sellers use their previous agent or they got a referral, right? And as Valerie said, it's a warmer lead. It's easier to convert. So as a bonus in the slides, I have a 2-page document called Creating an Army of Advocates, and it's a 60+ touch system through multiple channels that you guys are going to have access to. Also, this is a class that I've taught multiple times in the Resilient Realtor Facebook group and YouTube channel. So if you click on the slides, you click on the link, it'll take you to that class where you can learn all about database management 101 and creating an army of advocates. So let's talk about auditing your CRM. So I'm making a big assumption here. If we're going to try to uncover hidden transactions, it doesn't matter if you're in Follow Up Boss, Sierra, Boomtown, Chime, Commissions Inc., Lion's Desk, Real Geeks. I mean, I've seen them all. I'm not, saying one is better than the other. I have opinions. You can message me and I'll give you my opinion. But I'm making an assumption that you have something. Even if it's a spreadsheet, you need to have something. Now, I'm going to base the audit and teach you some principles behind high conversion strategies. So there are 5 things that every person, let's not call it a lead, right? Every person needs to have in your CRM. Number 1, they need to have e-alerts. And I'm going to show you why that's important and how you can uncover. I'm working with a team right now in Savannah, and I've got another team in California that I'm working with in auditing their, and another team in the Arlington, Virginia area. All 3 of those teams just happen to be in Boomtown. And one of the first ways that we're finding missed opportunities and uncovering hidden transaction is by auditing their Boomtown account and looking for where are all these buyers that are not getting homes sent to them every single day. So an e-alert in your CRM, or it could also be through your MLS. But basically, e-alert means we're sending them properties every day. So Valerie, why do you think it's so important that your buyer leads are getting properties sent to them daily?
That way they can see the homes that are available.
Yeah, they see the homes that are available. Also, I want them to see Valerie's face every single day, right? I want them to get the impression that Valerie is hunting for homes. But also, let's just take a page from the big company out there that has the most unique visitors every single month, right? And that is Zillow. Zillow, every Friday, Zillow's like, hey, because when we were in the Florida Keys. We went to the Florida Keys in April, and I looked up some homes on my Zillow app. And so now every Friday, Zillow sends me open houses in Key West, right? Which is smart. And one time the email even said, ready to make your weekend plans? Here are the open houses in Key West, right? Take a page out of Zillow. Like, they get people to come back to their website. How do you think that they have so many unique visitors? It's because they're emailing them homes, right? And one of the users here said, we don't want them to go anywhere else. That's absolutely correct. It's that frequency creates familiarity. Familiarity creates trust. So e-alerts is one of the first ways that I look for hidden transactions and opportunities to re-engage. I should have taken a screenshot. I did. Just this morning, I got an email from my CRM that said XYZ user returned to the website after like 400 days. And what that tells me is that they opened up an e-alert, right? They saw a home that interested. We're also really lucky right now that we have homes to sell. If you would have asked me in January, a lot of our e-alerts were really broad because we just didn't have any inventory. So e-alert is really important. The other thing that we're going to be looking for is stages, or some CRMs call them statuses, but basically it means definition of their pipeline. Like, where are they at in the pipeline? Are they new? Are they hot? Are they a long-term, a short-term, that kind of thing. We're also going to be looking at logged calls and updated notes, and this will make more sense as I show you, but these are the things that we're auditing to uncover these hidden transactions. Act-in plans. I need to fix that. I did not, in all full disclosure, I did not spell check this presentation. That's how you know that Christy is not a high C. So action plans are essentially those automated emails that engage your leads. So we're going to be looking for that. And then this is another big one, is to-dos for follow-up. So those are 5 things every lead needs. And if I were to audit 2 of them that are going to help me uncover hidden transactions, it would be e-alerts and to-dos. And I'm going to give you guys some examples of what that looks like as we go in. So the other thing is, if you are in a CRM and not just, say, a spreadsheet, you're really going to want to take advantage of the reports that your CRM offers you. So things that you should be tracking are calls, appointments, communication, and lead flow. So let's actually look at some examples of that. I think I might have, yeah. Okay, so what I did is I'm going to show you guys a couple different platforms. Again, and not because I prefer one over the other. I do. Like I said, you can email me or message me and I'll tell you my favorites. But just to give you guys some different examples. So this one's actually out of Follow Up Boss. So Follow Up Boss, in this is 2 different screenshots that I took in this report that I was looking at. they had they had made 287 calls to 190 people. They had 40 connections, right? And 26 conversations. They received inbound, right? 56 calls. 11 calls were missed for a total talk time of 3 hours and 49 minutes. So again, this is a lead measure of our business that we should just have a really good understanding of how much time we're spending making calls and different things like that. But within Follow Up Boss, if you're just looking in the reporting section, I mean, you can check your calls, you can track appointments, you can track deals, lead sources, the speed to lead, contact attempts. This is one of my favorite reports in Follow Up Boss because it does allow you to look at how many times we're reaching out to these leads, which is also a good indication because Boomtown actually is the one that owns most of the data on this at this point that I'm aware of, that, conversion goes down for a long period of time, but then picks back up over time, right? So it's like speed to lead, highest conversion goes down, and then over time through attempts, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I love it. One of my clients, Janice Allen in Kalamazoo, Michigan, just got a client under contract from 3 years ago. So she cold called them 3 years ago, got their information, put them into her CRM, and then she's been nurturing them for 3 years, just got them under contract on a buy and is listing the home next week, right? That's, is that a hidden transaction? I don't know if it's a hidden transaction, but it's definitely a transaction that she has earned through immense follow-up, right? So another report that I really like is this. This is the speed to lead report. Hidden transactions, if you are neglecting your speed to lead, if you have a lead routing problem. So I spoke to a really cool team last night. We were doing a coaching interview, and one of the things that we uncovered is that they have a routing issue, meaning that it's too difficult to get the opportunity into the hands of the right person, and then through the handoff, notes are lost, different things like that. And so I also think it's really important when you're auditing, is that lead flow, look at the lead routing, make it simple for your clients, your customers to get to you or to get to the agent on your team that's going to be the best fit for them. And then this is something that we monitor closely. This is a screenshot from Boomtown. This is in the in-depth view. Boomtown has a ton of reporting features. I'm only going to highlight just a couple because again, if you don't use Boomtown, you're like, who cares? But I'm trying to give you guys ideas of things that you should be looking for. So in this particular screenshot that I'm looking at, I am looking at how many calls were made, right? So conversations to people spoken to, voicemails left, no messages left, the amount of text messages that were sent, one-to-one versus one-to-many, like bulk text message. And then, I mean, that's interesting. So 890 text messages went out, 174 responded. Same thing, 159 emails. 120 of those were bulk, 39 one-to-one, and 10 responded, right? So there's some interesting numbers here to look at, because if you are trying to figure out where should I best spend my effort, if your CRM has a function that allows you to audit performance, then we know, hey, actually we get way more responses when we do text messages than we do emails. Do we stop emails? No, but we put our focus on, everybody that has a cell phone number and including some form of a text fashion in there. So again, this is just one example of a report. I actually really like this report because it breaks down your leads by stage. So even if your CRM doesn't have a report like this, you can create filters to analyze some of these. So let's just look at this big one right here. This is such a massive opportunity for this team. So in the stage qualify, right? And qualify for a lot of people that I coach is attempted contact, right? They're trying to get a hold of these people. They don't know if they're hot, if they're a long-term nurture or short-term nurture, right? Now, your definition of qualify may be different, but let's just go with that one for now. So they have 2,488 leads, opportunities, right? And 499 of those people have never received a text message. 1,500 have never received a call. Right? Like as a team leader, that's a moment, right? Like that's heart-wrenching to know, right? But check out this call attempts. Most of the call attempts are like 0 to 3. There's hardly any call attempts. So again, if we're looking for business, let's not forget that we have groups of people that haven't been called enough, right? Or at all in some cases. Now, I would say that I know this team, and it's a function of not reporting, but unfortunately, that's not an excuse, right? Not logging your calls in your CRM is not going to help you uncover business. It really won't. Logging your calls will help you uncover business. No emails, no e-alerts, right? Like that's, you know what I mean? That's crazy. Drip campaigns is that automation or action plans. And they, 2,000 of them have been in qualify for over 30 days. 1,800 of them don't have to do. And this is just a really interesting audit per category, right? So now this is the hot list. No communication in 2 weeks on 433. And my definition of hot is that you are communicating with them weekly. You know what I mean? But here's the scary part. 285 of them don't have e-alerts. You guys are really quiet online. I'd love for you to comment. Like, what are you thinking about this? Like, is this kind of stuff that you're looking at in your CRM? Do you want to look at stuff like this to help you understand where you can do a better job following up and converting and finding those hidden transactions? So this is a screenshot from Sierra Interactive. And I don't have all of the categories checked in the screenshot. So it looks like I'm just looking at new, active, prime, and watch. But what I like about this one is it's showing, the number of calls made, the number of people that don't have tasks, right? No emails, no e-alerts, not viewed, and then the number of new leads in each of these categories. Now this happens to be people, so I just cut their names out for privacy. But this kind of shows you that this person has 1 lead with no e-alert, they have 0 with no emails, they have 3 people with no calls, right? So if I was an agent, I would click on that number, it would take me to those 3 people, and I would immediately log a call, because that's going to help me uncover those hidden transactions. So you need to lean into the reporting features that your CRM has, and ask for training if you need that. Now, in terms of those 5 things that every person in your CRM needs to have, I have a full hour-long training on that. So if you click on the slides, and you can go to my YouTube channel and watch that, it's a full hour. It goes in depth on each of those 5 things and why they really matter. Plus, there's some other bonus tips in there to help you increase conversion. So point number 2 is this idea of accountability filters. Sometimes they're called smart segments. Sometimes they're called call queues. We even have some that are maintenance filters, which I'll explain. But essentially, and I'm going to show you a couple screenshots of what they could look like, but essentially these accountability filters help you filter. I keep using the word filter. I need to find a better word. Help you segment, filter, sort through a huge group of people by common characteristics. So Valerie, put you on the spot. You actually do this almost daily for our team. You go in. What are some of the accountability filters or smart segments, like saved searches, that you're looking for to uncover opportunity inside our database?
For like people that have been called, people that are active on the site.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat for the people online. So she goes into our CRM and she sorts to look at everybody who's been active on the site but hasn't been called, right? And why would we want to do that?
Well, our work hasn't been called recently, so just because we haven't made contacts. We haven't, if there's not an attempt made, then we can't find out what they're looking for or what they need and how we can help them.
Yeah. So she's going high conversion, right? Like if you're active on the website, meaning you're looking at properties, you're calculating a mortgage, you are saving properties. And then if there's no call to that client, that's a huge missed opportunity, right? So she's looking for, I think ours is set up for like active on the website in the past 7 days, but hasn't been called. So basically, we've got over 20,000 people in our CRM. Well, that's like really hard to determine who should we call today. So we don't do that. What we do is we run off of a checklist. And one of the first things she's looking is new leads that haven't been called. So she's like, show me. So she filters through the CRM, show me all the new people that haven't been called. And we start there. Then show me everybody that's active on the website in the past 7 days that also hasn't been called, which is, really cool. So here's some ideas on filters or ways that you can search through or sort these massive, whether you have 150 people or 20,000 plus people, these are all going to really help you identify opportunities inside your CRM. So we also like to look at people who've looked at a property like 3 times or more. That's somebody we should call because they're showing intent on that property. Right now, we're really focused on older leads by a source and by a time frame. So a good example is we're focused right now on Zillow leads that came in before April or even before January. So when the market was really, really tough, there was no inventory, but money was cheap. Oh, the days. We're talking to those people because maybe they missed out because they put in some offers and they missed out because it was so competitive. Well, yeah, 6% interest rates totally suck, but now they can get a seller credit, they can get concessions, they can have a home warranty, they can have an inspection, they don't have to waive their appraisal or give up their kidney, right? So we're kind of segmenting, show me all the Zillow leads that haven't been called in the past 60 days, the past 90 days, right? Show me Zillow leads that are over 6 months old that haven't been called in the past 30 days, right? So we're able to sort leads by source and timeline, and then we're looking for an action. I got this idea from one of my coaching clients. She's in a mastermind group right now that Sandy Payne's running and talking about this dead list, right? Like, where are all the people that I went on an appointment with, but didn't get a buyer broker, didn't get a listing agreement, and kind of tagging those people and sorting so that you are maintaining a cadence of follow-up, because chances are you're going to be able to convert them as long as you are staying in front of them. We also look for, so we'll say, show me everybody that doesn't have an e-alert. Obviously, that's one of our main priorities. And show me people that haven't been called in X amount of days. So that's a really good example of, and we have one called closed clients and also our sphere of influence. So it shows me everybody that's in the stage closed. So I know they're a past client that hasn't been called in 90 days. And that 90 days is critical because our goal is to call our past clients a minimum of 4 times a year. So this is a way to create a saved filter or to manually search through the leads. I don't love manual searches, but if your CRM doesn't have the ability to save the search, then you're going to have to do it manually, and you would just operate off of a checklist, right? No follow-up tasks. That's a really important one. That's one that I see a lot of leads slip through the crack because we don't set a reminder to follow up with them in a certain time, or we're not using saved filters to show us, oh, show me all the hot leads that I haven't spoken to in 7 days, right? That's an example. Orphan leads, basically people that said they already bought. We call those orphan leads. And we have an action plan where we're going to try to convert them to be a home seller in the future. And of course, CMA opportunities. So those are just a couple ideas on how you can sort through your leads. And this slide totally sucks, but it's screenshots. So on the top, I have some examples out of Follow Up Boss, and Follow Up Boss allows you to customize these. So it's very customizable to this client. So this client's looking at, show me all of the leads that came in today, right? So this is going to be people that are like in a new stage. And there's certain criteria when she would click on these. She's got 2 people in that list that she would call today. When she makes those 2 calls, that number goes to 0. And then, so this is like new leads every day. Then the leads daily, I believe she uses this one for leads that are under 30 days that they haven't got a hold of, and they just call daily. We have a similar filter in ours. So you can see we've got, and we use Sierra Interactive, new under 10 days, new under 30 days. And our goal is to clear out these call filters every day. So we know automatically when we go in, we're going to clear out these call filters. So she's got one over here, recently active on the website, stale leads, right? Basically leads that were engaged, that went cold. And 405 people in that list, you're probably not going to clear out that list, but you're going to spend some time in there in your hour of power, right? Nurture monthly, same thing, 677 people. That's probably, you could clear that out in 3 months. That's what I would love to see in a situation like that, is if you really focused on getting everybody into the cadence, of a monthly call. You're not going to do 677 in one day. That would be a really long call session. You'd probably have to use a dialer. These people are being called quarterly. And then she's got a list of no phone numbers. She had more. These are just the ones that I took a screenshot. So like I said, we've got Zillow leads since January of 2021, and that we're trying to call through. There's more criteria within each of these. Closed client, cold clients, hot, warm. We like to clear ours from left to right. Form submission is people who've raised their hand, like, hey, I want to see a property, something like that. Here's an example of Boomtown. Now, these ones on the top, Boomtown automatically puts in, which is kind of cool. So if you clicked on this in Boomtown, it would sort all the leads, forms received today. So people that, raised their hand, people that it needs a call, verified leads, new leads. And then this person set up some leads with no call or text in the last 30 days. That's actually pretty good. And there's some more criteria in there, but that's just an example of how these smart segments or accountability filters work. Another horrible image, but I was trying to give you guys some screenshots here. So the other, so once you figure out what you're looking for, right, and probably have like a core 4 or 5 of these smart segments and filters, then you need to create a daily workflow. And honestly, this is where I see most agents struggle, is they don't know what to do when they get into their CRM. Was there ever a time where you just kind of were like, I know I need to be doing follow-up, but I just don't even know what I should be doing in my CRM?
I think we've had a lot of structure, so I don't know that it was that bad. I think like right now it's super easy.
Yeah. So I love that. So she says, we've had a lot of structure. We have documents called laws of the pipeline. Mm-hmm. We've got expectations around each lead source, what you do, how you get in a stage, how you get out of stage, like just all these different pieces. So the structure has helped Valerie in her lead follow-up. So a couple of workflows that I suggest, and it's really going to be dependent upon your CRM and the system that you're using, but these are just some good basic practices to find opportunities in your CRM. Almost every CRM has an inbox of some sort, and that means that people either texted you, they emailed you, or they could have called you, because a lot of these CRMs have the ability to track calls. So you need to clear out that inbox, right? Respond to the people that raised their hand. And then a lot of them also have this ability of active on the site. So like on Boomtown, it's a now wall. We've got that as a smart segment, so it's not necessarily in here, but I know in Follow Up Boss, they have an inbox, and they also have notifications. So people do certain things, you can get some notifications. So you want to be looking for, every day people that were active on your site. Also, you need to work on tasks, right? So in this screenshot there, this agent has some tasks to do. This person has over 99 tasks to do. I can tell you that they just have a lot of past due tasks. And I didn't click on this one, but there's tasks. Tasks are reminders that you set for yourself so people don't fall through the cracks. That's how tasks work. Again, go watch my other class. I go in really deep. And then, of course, clearing out your call filters, which was call filters, maintenance filters, which are those things that we just discussed. So on a daily basis, those are probably at least the core 4 that I would focus on. Clearing call filters, doing your tasks, checking the opportunities for people who are active on the site, and then clearing out your inbox. Now, weekly, what should you be doing in your database weekly? Well, we have what are called maintenance filters. And maintenance filters are things like, if you have a rule, we keep people in new for 30 days. Well, after 30 days, they need to be moved to qualify. That would be a maintenance filter. So once a week, looking at all of my leads that are in new that are over 30 days old and moving them, right? Creating e-alerts. So again, having in the example of the Boomtown one, needs an e-alert, right? So once a week, you click on this needs an e-alert and you take and add e-alerts for all of those leads. Same thing with action plans. So we will look and say, show me everybody who is currently not part of automation, and we'll update that. So once a week, you should have a period of time where you're just auditing some of those basic features to make sure you don't get behind this, And then monthly, going back to step 1 and looking at the reporting and the utility and the performance, right? Where are we getting the best bang for our buck? Which agents are performing? Which ones are not performing? How do we increase conversion? So I know this is not a super sexy topic. I think everybody was hoping that I would have some magic pill for converting. I am going to share a script with you guys at the end for those of you guys that have stuck with me. But these are things that really will increase your conversion. So in summary, it's record breaking that I'm going to end on time or early unless you guys have questions. So in summary, you really need to create SOPs around your database, right? Because I already said 68% have come from past client or referral. So start there and make sure you've got a really solid foundation around your database. You've got standard operating procedures and checklists so that it's fluid. Then, whatever system you're in, utilize the features, right? Move in. I love the way Bob McCraney says it. He goes, so many of us buy these CRMs, we invest in them. It's like, buying a house and then not moving in. You need to move into your CRM, start utilizing the features, take time monthly to train yourself, create a mastermind with other agents that are using the same CRM so you can really maximize them. I mean, all of them are paid for. Even if your broker gives you a free account through your brokerage, you're still paying for that in splits and things like that. So utilize it to maximize conversion. And then I would also say create checklists and workflows so that you're not working from memory and people are not falling through the cracks. Now, I found this really awesome script off of Conversion. They sent out this great script and it's called the double text technique. You can do this in your CRM, by the way. It's less of an automated text message, although a lot of CRMs will allow you to do a double text automation. So it'll seem like a live person is texting. But, go find 50 people in your database, right? 50 people, start auditing, start segmenting, find those people that haven't been called or texted in the past 90 days and use this strategy because a lot of us have increasing inventory right now. So text number 1 says, hi, Jimmy. The reason I'm reaching out is that inventory is rising and I expect between 40 and 50 new homes to hit the market by next week. If I come across anything special, would you like me to send it your way? That's text 1. Then you're going to send text 2. One more thing. That's a Phil Jones, right? The Columbo moment. Just one more thing. One more thing. Do you have a specific budget in mind? If yes, let me know and I'll keep that in my records for you as I'm searching on your behalf. So I shared on an Instagram reel last week or the week before that this is such a simple technique that many of you guys are not going to do it. And I'm just going to say that most agents are lazy. That's why I don't mind doing these classes. I don't mind sharing all of the strategies and tools that I use. Valerie says she's actually gotten responses from this text message. So it's definitely a good strategy to use. It's so simple though. A lot of you guys aren't going to use it, or you're just going to be so busy running around that you're not going to take the time to do it. So I'm going to challenge you guys. If you're still on, comment in the chat. Are you going to try this technique? Are you going to go find 50 people inside your database and send this text message to them? I promise you that you will get results if you do it. I have used it already too. No responses yet. Don't give up. Keep going. Linda says she has. No responses yet. Don't be surprised. It'll happen. It's a numbers game, right? So keep moving forward. And Linda, I know Linda has used other text messages and got responses because we've seen them. So challenge accepted. I love it. You guys are gonna have to come back to this thread and comment on the ways that you've been able to see the results. So this is a phenomenal text. Thank you, curator, for sending this out. Try the double text technique. Go back in, segment that list. Obviously, this would not be a good text for for sellers, but it's a phenomenal text for buyers. And then I would say also that I would love it if you would leave me a review. So I have a Google business page now. I'm up to 4 reviews, but if you want to find Christy Jenks, real estate agent and coach on Google, you can leave me a review or you can scan this QR code. I would greatly appreciate it. And as always, the resources can be found at christyjenks.com. If you know anybody in the Phoenix metro area that's looking to join a team, we're always looking for, smart people that, want to work hard because this job's not easy. I appreciate you guys being here today. Have a phenomenal weekend. Go sell some homes. If you have any questions about CRMs, feel free to message me on Instagram or Facebook, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. And go sell some homes.